Hi, I'm Jeff with Enjoy Our Yard. Today I'm going to share some of the different type of hose that I've accumulated over the years. Some of these might be ones that are new for you or ones that you're familiar with. If you're ever looking to expand because of maybe today's advice, you go to a yard sale, you can maybe pick these up pretty cheaply. So they might have a place for you. One of these hoses doesn't even belong in the garden. We're going to share that with you as well. Keep watching. My dad always said if you have the right tool, the job becomes easy, and that's certainly true with hose. This is considered a draw hoe, which is your very typical hoe, and here's just a smaller version of it. For me, growing up, my dad would use this a lot. He had a large garden, and so to plant seeds, he would use the edge of this to make the furrow. I would then come along and plant. He would then come along and cover it up. In our particular case, our home garden is very small, so we don't really need a hoe to help with the planting. So in my case, I really don't use these hoes anymore, but these are what you typically think of as a hoe. I'm going to show you some ones that are more useful. Okay, the next hoe is called a winged weeder, and that's actually the brand name, so that would be what you find in the store. It's considered a flat hoe, and so the way this hoe works is as you stand, you push and pull on the hose. So you're getting dual action, which means it's much more efficient. I find for me, with a smaller yard and smaller garden, it's very easy to be able to get very close to a plant. So if you have weeds up to a plant, you don't want to bend over, this is very easy to get close. Because of the way it's designed, you have total control. It's not going to get away from you, which means you can really get into tight spaces. And because of that, this one has some good value versus that draw hoe. Okay, the next hoe is called a stirrup hoe, or this particular one is called the hula hoe. This was invented back in the 1960s, and I remember buying this particular one from my father many years ago because it was a new tool for him at the time. He found it very effective, and this is by far my favorite hoe. What I like about it, it's called reciprocating, which means as you break up the soil with it, without a lot of energy, you're actually getting the dual action, plus the movement allows the dirt to sort of help circulate. You break through the weeds pretty easily. What I find that also is good for is if you have some beds of mulch. Over time, that mulch almost forms like a mat, which means water's not going to get through. So the hula hoe is a real nice way to go and break up that mulch. A lawn rake sometimes just doesn't give you enough firmness to be able to cut through the mulch. So the hula hoe, especially if you want to get close to the base of the plants, which is where you want the water to go. So of all the hoes that I have, the hula hoe is the one that I go to the most. All right, and I said at the beginning that one of those hoes was one that doesn't even belong in the garden, and that's this particular one. It's called a mortar hoe. This is one that my father had as he would have different home projects. He would use this for mixing up concrete, maybe some patchwork type of thing. So it's really not meant for the garden, because as you can sense with the holes, it's going to help circulate as you the concrete and the water, whatever your mixture might be, it's going to help distribute it. So it's more of a mixing tool than the garden hoe. What I do find though is if you ever have maybe gravel that you want to move, because it is so sturdy and bigger than the other hoes, it makes a nice tool to move. Sometimes a yard rake or garden rake has too much space between the tines to pull stuff. This would make a nice way to help move stuff from one point to another, especially if you're looking at gravel. So even though I don't use it, it's one that I have, and as you find over time, having these tools when you need them makes the job a whole lot easier. So here's a demonstration of the winged weeder. So it's very easy to get close to a plant. And because you're just doing the surface, you can get very easy with control and you can take care of the plants. And the other one that I like is the Hula Hoe, and that one's good for getting the weeds, but also if you want to get through your mulch, just to freshen it up, and that's going to allow the water to get through better. So very easy to just loosen the mulch that you have. That's it. I hope today's video offers some advice that might be practical or maybe even new for you. There's many hoes out there, and I think for me, finding the ones that I can use is really beneficial. My wife Judy and I enjoy taking care of our yard, and using certain tools can make that job a whole lot more enjoyable. So thanks for watching. Please hit like or subscribe, share with your friends, or leave some comments down below as we enjoy our yard.